There's only one way to get over a broken heart, Dan explained to his beloved hound. Winston wagged expectantly. For months he'd been waiting for his human to commence the difficult work of feeling his feelings. Instead, Dan marched over the hall closet and began extracting items in a fevered frenzy. Musty sleeping bag, Coleman stove, ratty old tent. None of this stuff had seen daylight for years, ever since Dan moved in with Camille, who was allergic to poison oak and any critter that wasn't on a leash. Distraction, Dan barked. You've got to train your mind away from your heart, or your heart will take you down. Winston was stunned. He did a quick mental calculation of Dan's emotional IQ and realized that he'd badly overestimated his human companion. Oblivious to Winston's keen analysis, Dan tossed the camping gear into his Jeep and began their long drive up to Mono Lake. He needed a change of scenery. He needed to do something that made him feel strong again. Dan made camp, chopped kindling, and built a fire. He felt very manly. But a late season snowstorm came in through the night, collapsing his tent along with his confidence. And when he snuggled up to Winston for warmth, he could smell Camille's shampoo on the dog's fur. There was no escaping her. Back in the city, Dan sought guidance from the self-help bestseller, For a Fertile Future, Mulch Your Past. Camille hated facial hair, so he grew a beard. He embarked on a series of hot but meaningless one-nighters with women who looked nothing like her. He took up skydiving and tried to learn Russian. Winston saw the folly of Dan's strategy, but chose not to interfere with his process. Humans usually had to learn the hard way. After several months of this nonsense, Dan was no closer to distraction, much less closure. He sensed Camille everywhere, saw her bosom in the curve of a banana, felt her presence in the waft of freshly baked bread. The bird that nested in the fig tree outside his bedroom window, her song sounded just like Camille giggling. Will I ever be free? Beseeched Winston. You know I've tried everything to move on. The old hound merely sighed, for he, in fact, knew otherwise. Fate intervened when a video of Aboriginal walkabouts popped up on Dan's Facebook feed. He figured he had nothing to lose. He also had no sense of direction, so he let Winston lead the way. Where would they go? Dan was beyond caring. Winston sniffed out the coyote trails all the way from the outer mission to the dour peninsula town of Colma. By the time Dan realized where he was, it was too late. Winston led him to Camille's headstone. He knew better than anyone. He knew that Dan had yet to cry.